Hi, I'm Stacy Friedman, here with my co-chair, Debbie Judd, and we'd like to welcome you to our JCC virtual annual celebration. We're so happy that you took the time to be with us tonight. We know that it's a little strange to be together virtually, but like most things, practice makes perfect, and we've had plenty of time to practice our Zoom skills over the past few months. I'd like to welcome you to my dining room. It took a lot to reserve this space to be with you this evening. Sometimes I feel like we're operating a room reservation calendar like the JCC does at home. Like many of you, I have a college student who is now home taking online classes, a senior in high school, and a sixth grader who are completing homeschooling, and a husband who's working from home. The struggle is real. Juggling who works where, who needs their headphones to participate in live classes, and making sure everyone has a quiet space when they need it has become a full-time job. This past few months has been a mix of chaos, frustration, and lack of private space, but it's also been filled with laughter, love, joy, and bonding. It's required me to reach out beyond these walls to ensure my connections with friends and family, colleagues, and workout partners. It's brought to the forefront something that I've always known to be true, but might not have fully appreciated: family. Whether you call it your fam, your brood, your team, your clan, your tribe, your mishpacha, one thing is for sure. Family is not just the people you share your last name with. It's the community that surrounds you. It's the people who build you up, who reach out when they know that you're down. It's community who keeps you sane by working out with you online or going to a Zoom speaker series with you so you have something new and interesting to actually talk about. It's the people who share a common purpose. For me, for all the Friedmans, that family is our JCC community.
Hi, I'm Debbie Judd. Hello, I'm Debbie Judd. And I heartily agree with Stacy's sentiments. Our JCC is family, and it builds family. It creates lifelong relationships, bonds, and friendships. I met some of my best friends when my now 30-something daughter entered the JCC's 2-year-old program. It's our home away from home, even when we have to use Zoom to get there, because it's the people that make a place and make it feel like home. And speaking of people who make the JCC what it is, Stacy and I would like to personally acknowledge the leadership and dedication of our JCC President, Stephanie Klaskow, our Executive Director, Mike Goldstein, and all of the JCC board members, staff, and friends who have worked tirelessly to keep our JCC whole during these challenging times. We know with this team to guide, to support, and innovate, our community will emerge strong. But even as we face moments of uncertainty, one thing that we are certain about is that being here together tonight is what demonstrates that our community is strong. We're here with a common goal: to celebrate our JCC, make it so special. So thank you for being part of our evening. And now I'd like to introduce Rabbi Ethan Prosnett of Temple Emmanuel of Westfield, who will give the Devar Torah.
I know it's only Monday, but I want to talk about challah. Lately, I've been craving the Zadie's challah from the Jerusalem Cafe in the JCC, the raisin one especially. Hopefully, we'll be back to pick up our challah in the near future. I also know that many during this quarantine have been making their own chalot. Home bakers have been practicing different braiding techniques, trying out new toppings, and how to make the eggiest, shiniest, and slightly sweet bread as possible. Perhaps, like your household, In my household, you have contributed to the shortage of yeast, egg, and honey during this pandemic. I'm also thinking about challah tonight because in this week's Torah portion, we have the first reference to the bread. In Shalach Lecha, God instructs Moses to tell the Israelites to set aside a portion of each loaf and use it as an offering to the Kohanim, the Jewish priests. The tradition is known as the separation of the challah. It's still practiced, but in a slightly different form. Today, observant home bakers and professional bakeries take a piece of dough and incinerate it in the oven before they bake their bread. Originally, the breads used in this kind of ritual were much simpler than our challahs today. It was more like a pita bread. So the question is, why perform this mitzvot of separation of the challah? Rabbis debated this mitzvah and taught that the small piece of dough was one of the 24 gifts that Jews were commanded to give to the Kohanim, so they could fulfill their sacred mission of educating the people of Israel of Torah, mitzvot, and gemilut chasadim, acts of love and kindness. The challah that was given from the dough intended for them to bake bread or cakes. Thus, the gift of challah held a special importance because from it, the Kohanim were prepared the greatest part of their food. In addition, by means of the mitzvah of challah, there was a constant connection that was created between the Israelites and the Kohanim. Every day, challah from dough was given daily from Jews to their neighbors. In this way, all of Israel was connected on a daily basis, while preparing their bread for a holy purpose, since from their very own bread they were able to be part of the Kohanim, and who served as the role as rabbis, counselors, and educators. While the temple does not stand today, and there are no high priest offering sacrifices, I still believe that the mitzvah of separation of challah is relevant. Some bakers, when they make challah, instead of separating some dough and burning it, now make a donation to tzedakah. Perhaps we look at the baking of challah not only as a way to celebrate Shabbat, but also to bring justice to our world. I believe adding additional meaning to our daily activities, whether baking bread, celebrating a holiday, or marking sacred moments, is a way to deepen our connection to ourselves, to our community, and to the divine. I'm proud to be a member of the JCC and send my son to the Early Childhood Center because I believe that this is what this organization is all about, adding additional meaning to our lives. The JCC is a place where we can work out, swim, play basketball, and through the JCC's programs, learning and education, there is so much more. If it's helping members in the need during COVID-19 crisis, or raising money to find a cure for breast cancer, or supporting learners with special needs at Camp Yachad, the JCC deepens our connections by adding extra meaning to its programs. I'm so looking forward to buying that Zaydis challah at Jerusalem Cafe as soon as I can. Not only because it's delicious, but because it supports the JCC, which adds additional meaning to my life, and I'm sure all of your lives as well.
Imagine the unimaginable. A global pandemic, government-mandated quarantine, social distancing. Not being able to see or hug friends or family. Not being able to go to our JCC for 3 months and counting. Back in March, those things were unimaginable. Today, they're very real. None of us has been untouched by this crisis. It hasn't been easy. For many, it's been quite hard. For our JCC, it has been hard. We will get through it. Over these last months, I've done some deep thinking about the importance of our JCC and our JCC community. I've realized, as I'm sure many of you have too, that the JCC is about so much more than a place. It's about a people. People who enjoy each other, learn with each other, depend on each other, help each other, socialize with each other, and bring out the best in each other. It's about people who stay connected, even when they must be physically apart. People who are better together. Although the JCC will reopen as soon as it's safe to do so, full recovery will likely take several years. It's important that you know we are facing significant challenges. Revenues are impacted from programs that have been and will be canceled or changed to meet the new safety guidelines. Expenses will increase as we take all of the necessary measures to keep everyone safe and healthy. Along the way, we will need to make difficult short-term decisions to ensure long-term strength and continuity. When we reopen, our building will look and feel different, and our usual comings and goings in the hallways and rooms of the JCC will be affected in the short term. Nevertheless, we will continue to maintain clear sight of our mission and the importance of our continuity and sustainability. Our values will continue to guide our actions as always. I am confident we will succeed together. Let me share with you why. First, the way our dedicated and hardworking JCC professionals sprang into action the minute we were shut down was so impressive and empowering. Developing a virtual platform within days, working together seamlessly from our homes, creating programs for preschoolers, seniors, and fitness enthusiasts. It's been incredibly natural and instinctive for our staff to ensure our community stayed connected to each other. Everyone pitched in, all the while providing support to our members, grocery shopping for those who couldn't get out, lending an ear to an anxious parent, or calling a senior who was feeling lonely. 3 months ago, this would have been unimaginable. Today, it is very real. We are so fortunate to have such a fantastic staff team, many of whom are long tenured. This year, we celebrate 3 special anniversaries. For 20 years, Jody Hotra and Kathy Pizzella, and for 25 years, Mary Scott Stockton. Congratulations and thank you. And while we are blessed to celebrate milestones, we also experienced loss. This year, we lost a cherished JCC professional, Michelle Posnock-Sion, who taught so many to swim. Michelle is greatly missed, and we were so fortunate for her. In high times and low times, we are better together. It should come as no surprise that our lay leaders have been front and virtually center throughout this crisis. Our board and our committees have been on countless Zoom meetings, providing guidance and oversight at this critical time. 3 months ago, this too would have been unimaginable. Today, it is very real. They are tireless. They are dedicated. We are grateful. We are better together. Our community partners, including corporate sponsors and grant makers, have also been right beside us. The Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West, providing access to valuable resources and much needed emergency funding. Jewish Family Service of Central New Jersey, providing a social worker to support our most vulnerable members. The Jewish Community Foundation and the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, contributing to the funding of the social worker. The JCC Association of North America, guiding us and allowing a freeze of our dues payments for many months. A new partnership with Atlantic Medical Group, giving our early childhood parents, caregivers of children with special needs, and seniors access to healthcare professionals, our banner sponsors. 3 months ago, we would have thought this type of support to be unimaginable. Now we know it can be very real. Thank you all. We are better together. While our professionals, lay leaders, and partners have been invaluable, it is you, my friends, our members, who have kept us going. Your words of understanding and your big-heartedness have been so deeply appreciated. Early on, we asked those of you who were able to make a donation or to consider keeping your dues or tuition in place as a donation so that we could sustain staffing, programs, and services. I am proud and grateful to report that you have donated over $200,000 since March. Wow. You have made a huge difference. Thank you. Your support, along with the Paycheck Protection Plan loan we obtained in May, enabled our JCC to be one of only a small handful of JCCs that has made it to this point without furloughs or layoffs. Thank you for sticking with us and for letting us know you love your JCC. For many of you, it was a first-time donation to the JCC. For others, it was a continuation of sustained philanthropic support. Either way, your generosity is so critical and even more impactful during this uncertain time. Your JCC will need your support as we move ahead. Our entire community, our professionals, lay leaders, partners, and members have navigated an incredibly difficult time with no playbook, and we did it together. We are better together. And let's not forget the fantastic accomplishments of our year before the pandemic. In 2019, 847 children and 304 counselors had an unforgettable Jewish camp experience at Camp Yachad. Our Barracudas swim team, in its 22nd season, under first-year head coach Martina Varholova, learned about teamwork and Rachmanis as they had a banner year, dual meet champs on February 9th, state champs on March 1st, and best in class at the All-Star Invitational meet back in December. Kol HaKavod, Barracudas. And we added bandwidth and brains to our fund development efforts with the addition of a director of grants management and corporate relations, identifying past president Mindy Goldberger as the right person for the job. We made major steps in our J-Embrace initiative. We formed the JCC Continuity Circle, a philanthropic group of people who appreciate the value of the JCC and who collectively contributed over $27,000 to our annual campaign. Our circle is 22 people and growing. And the list goes on. Through programmatic and fundraising success, we were poised to drive a significant operating surplus for the second consecutive year. That is why I am confident. While we've been collectively managing and navigating this crisis, not only have we committed to get through it, but we've also committed to look beyond it. We've committed to our mission. No matter what, our JCC will be here to educate, empower, and enrich our community from generation to generation. As of this moment, a carefully planned summer camp experience is set to take place this July, ensuring that our campers emerge confident, healthy, and strong. Camp Yachad rocks. And the early childhood team will be ready in the fall to educate your children while keeping them protected with a curriculum that builds self-esteem, curiosity, and critical thinking skills. Over $500,000 raised from donors, foundations, and the Preside Match for J-Embrace, combined with our commitment to enhancing programs and services for seniors and our members with special needs, we've launched our new Department of Inclusion and Diversity Services with Beth Mitchell at the helm. We will hire a community social worker in the near future, and enriching programming is set to begin by January. Every single department has contributed to imagine innovative ways to bring excellent and valuable programs and services to you, our members. Looking ahead, our JCC must continue to be a shining light and force for good, connecting each of us to our values and our shared history, allowing each of us to become better. In a world that is in need of repair, we must maintain our JCC as a place where all are welcome, safe, equally valued, and respected. We are better together. I'd like to share a video of the Early Childhood Celebration of Learning that took place on June 5th. It's a heartwarming video for sure, but I'm not just playing it for that reason. For me, it makes what we've lost so real, and at the same time speaks to me in such positive ways. It shows the joy that our connections bring and the commitment our members have to the JCC. It shows the creativity of our professional staff and the extra mile that we are all willing to go. It shows the smiling faces of our future. The JCC is about so much more than a place. It's about a people. And that indeed is why we're all better together and why we will emerge from this as a strong, vital JCC community. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, take now. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy.
Hi, everybody. This is Peter Weisbrod, the immediate past president of the JCC, for those of you that don't know me. And I currently serve as the chair of the governance committee, which is responsible also for the nominating of our board and our executive committee. I just want to say it's so good to be here with you, even if it's by Zoom. I miss us not being together in the Weinberg rooms together. But I have the honor tonight of presenting the nominees to serve as our JCC officers and board of directors. First, I would like to recognize the 3 members of our board who will be stepping down at the end of their terms on June 30th. They are Jeff Silverstein, Jessica Silverstein, no relation, and Bob Simon. I would like to personally, and as a member of the JCC, thank each of you for your commitment and service in providing excellence at the JCC through your multiple endeavors on the board of directors and on the various committees where you served with such dedication. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we look forward to our new class of board nominees, I would like to take this time to acknowledge and thank the member of this year's nominating committee. Listed alphabetically, they are Lauren Barr, Jason Benedict, Stacy Friedman, Mike Goldstein, Natalie Halperin, Stephanie Klaskow, Bob Simon, Alex Skabinski, and Scott Staven. Thank you for your hard work and all that you do. The nominating committee considers our agency mission and vision and identifies individuals with necessary leadership skills and passion for the JCC. This is an honor that comes with responsibility, and nominees are informed of their responsibilities. Board members are supportive of events and projects and are the JCC's ambassadors to the community. At this time, I'd like to present the nominee for a 2-year term as a member of the Board of Directors, Jason Toporek. Next, I would like to present those who are continuing their terms as members of the Board of Directors. They are Sharon Arts, Ann Beckerman, Phyllis Bernstein, Brian Cohn, Carrie Darsky, Linda Dickinson, June Fisher, Stuart Fuchsman, Natalie Halpern, Mark Herzog, Howard Kornfeld, Nikki Mendelson, Robin Minnick, Evan Nathanson, Scott Staven, and Suzanne Tucker. I now move that Jason Toporek be elected by acclamation. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you for seconding the motion. All in favor, please indicate by responding to the poll, which will come up on your screen in a second. Any opposition, please indicate by responding to the poll as well, and any abstentions, please indicate by responding to the poll. I'll wait about 10 seconds for each of you to be able to vote as you wish. Great. The motion carries. Thank you. Jacob, now that you have been duly elected according to the JCC bylaws and you have agreed to accept the responsibilities that election entails, it is my pleasure to formally install you as a member of the JCC Board of Directors. I know that you will serve with distinction. Congratulations and thank you. We will now proceed with the installation of the Executive Committee of the JCC. The JCC is privileged to have an incredibly dedicated and hardworking group of officers and at-large members who we are sure will continue to run the agency in a responsible and sound manner. For President, Stephanie Klaskow. Immediate past President, yours truly, Peter Weisbrod. First Vice President, Stacy Friedman. Vice President, Jason Benedict. Treasurer, Lauren Barr. Secretary, Tracy Hoberman. Assistant Secretary, Treasurer, Deborah Judd. Parliamentarian, Carrie Drake. And two at large, Jeff Sassoon and Alex Skabinski. I move that these individuals be elected by acclamation. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Carrie Darsky, for seconding the motion. Again, as you did before, all in favor, please indicate by responding to the poll that will come up on your screen. Any opposition, please indicate by responding to the poll. And any abstentions as well, please indicate by responding to the poll. Thank you, everyone. The motion carries. Now that you have been duly elected according to the JCC bylaws and you have all agreed to accept the responsibilities that election entails, it is my pleasure to formally install you as officers of the JCC for 2020-2021. Okay, so next up, I've got a long passage to read. You can read along with me, but this is necessary because of what's been going on, so we have a new change to the bylaws. And lucky me, I get to do it. But let me first put out a big shout out and a thank you to Suzanne Tucker for helping us put this together and for all your hard work. She is our in-house legal counsel and has done a great job with this. Here we go. This year, due to the pandemic crisis, the nonprofit corporation law was amended to permit entirely remote membership meetings during a state of emergency declared by the governor. Our governance committee proposed to our board of directors a change in our JCC bylaws, which would explicitly allow for a virtual annual meeting like this one under certain specified conditions. Since our current bylaws do not specify the circumstances under which we could hold our annual meeting entirely remotely without a physical location, we felt that it would be prudent to add language to our bylaws to define the conditions under which we could hold our annual meeting via remote communications without a physical location. Under Article 4 of our current bylaws, the current language reads as follows. Under membership meetings, Section 1, there shall be an annual meeting of the members of the JCC during the month of May or June of each year. The date, hour, and place for such meetings are to be determined by the board of directors. The proposed amendment to this section is as follows. There shall be an annual meeting of the members of the JCC during the month of May or June of each year. The date, hour, and place for such meetings are to be determined by the board of directors. In the event of a force majeure event, the board of directors may authorize that the annual meeting be held by means of a remote communication pursuant to guidelines and procedures to govern such a meeting to be established by the board of directors. A force majeure event shall be defined as any circumstance not within the reasonable control of the JCC, including without limitation, war, civil unrest, or the existence of a national or state provincial emergency as declared by the relevant governmental officer or body, which concurrently or in the foreseeable future could preclude the taking of or proceeding with an action, as so determined by the president, or in the absence or unavailability of the president, the executive director, and in consultation with the executive committee, following an appropriate review, evaluation of the underlying facts relating to such event and the need to make such determination. That's a mouthful, folks. I move that these changes be incorporated into our bylaws. Is there a second?
I second.
Stacey Friedman, thank you for seconding the motion. All in favor, as you've done before, please indicate by responding to the poll. Any opposed, please indicate as well, and any abstentions, please indicate to the poll as well. The motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie Darsky. Haderech, the Path to Leadership, consists of 5 engaging workshops designed to provide participants with a broad overview of our JCC's history and current functions, an introduction to our local and global Jewish community landscape as a lay leader, some tools to strengthen your leadership, and inspiration from incredible peers. Each session is facilitated by seasoned JCC lay and professional leaders, as well as dynamic industry experts. Mallory and I were so excited to learn with this terrific group of budding leaders in our community. We started strong with 2 sessions just before winter break with so much enthusiasm to continue this spring. We celebrated the birth of 2 new Haderach babies in January and got together socially in February. Just as we were confirming our March date, like everything else, we had to pivot. We are committed to this group getting the experience we promised, so we pressed pause and are looking forward to continuing this fall. Look out. When you hear these names in the future, you can trust that they are the best in leadership for our JCC.
We're pleased to recognize this incredible class: Heather Bonaparte, Josh Cohen, Tamar Eckstein, Allison Eschett, Allison Holtzman, Blair Kolodny, Adam Love, Elise Shearer, Allison Sturck, Naomi Tillman, Randy Weniger, and Luann Zinser. Thank you so much for this amazing group of people. We cannot wait to get back together to learn soon.
I am proud tonight to present the Recognition Award to a deserving group of volunteers and staff who have achieved remarkable results through partnership, hard work, and dedication. Each year, we present the Partner Impact Award to acknowledge the work of extraordinary partnerships between volunteers and staff and the impact they achieve by working together. This year, our JCC COVID-19 Response Task Force is the recipient of that award. When the COVID crisis hit our community, we knew it was imperative to create a task force of lay leaders and staff to help deal with this unprecedented, ever-evolving situation. I'm not so sure this group realized what they were committing to, but they never wavered. Every week for the past 3.5 months, on Tuesday and Fridays, I see these Zoom faces. These meetings are difficult. They're emotional. We review and plan financial scenarios. We write, edit, and rewrite communications that we're planning on sharing with our membership. We sift through pages upon pages of information around federal funding, grants, and small business loans. And we plan for our reopening and discuss changes that will be necessary in our programs and operations. It would be impossible to thank this group enough for the time and expertise that they have provided. So tonight, I would like to honor them with the Partner Impact Award. To our lay leaders, Lauren Barr, Carrie Drake, Barry Friedman, Howard Mankoff, Jeff Sassoon, and Suzanne Tucker. And our staff leaders, Robin Brous, Teresa Caserly, Becky Tauber, and Amy Waldman. I am forever grateful for your time, dedication, and commitment to our JCC. I thank you.
The Hineni Award is traditionally awarded to a volunteer who has gone above and beyond, providing exemplary service to the agency. This year, we have 2 deserving recipients, Mark Ginsberg and Jeff Silverstein. When the JCC and the Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West agreed to partner on the renovation of an old boiler room space, transforming it into what will soon become the Federation Great Room, Jeff and Mark stepped forward to say, Hineni, here I am. They selflessly lent their expertise, know-how, relationships, and time to this innovative project, reimagining and reinventing Federation's home at the Wilf Jewish Community Campus. Mark has a long history with the JCC and the Wilf campus and was a driving force in the 1990s, ensuring that our building was constructed according to the wishes of the Wilf family Mark deserves a great deal of credit for those efforts at a time when our JCC community was expanding and needed a space to grow. Since then, Mark has lent his support on many projects and has continued to be a passionate advocate for the JCC. Jeff has also been a longtime supporter of the JCC and was heavily involved with the large-scale renovations to the fitness center, member services desk area, and cafe a decade ago. Since then, Jeff has become a full-time presence at the JCC. You've probably seen him scooting through the hallways, going to check in on a project or meet with a contractor. Co-chair of our building committee, Jeff has coordinated and overseen dozens of important projects for the JCC and has volunteered more hours in the last 10 years than any other layperson I know of. It is with great pleasure and gratitude that I present this year's Hineni Award to Mark Ginsberg and Jeff Silverstein.
Mike, can you hear me? Okay, Mike, thanks for your kind words. As you mentioned in your remarks, I have a long history with the JCC that goes back to the days when the JCC was just a vision to what has evolved to the beautiful Wilf Family Campus that it is today. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude to the Wilf family for allowing me to give of my time to so many worthwhile causes. This award, Hineni, translates from Hebrew to Here I Am. And over the years, I've always enjoyed working with so many wonderful people at the JCC, and especially on this particular project. I really do appreciate the Hineni Award. Thank you. I've also had the privilege of working with my fellow honoree, Jeff Silverstein, on the construction of the Jewish Federation Great Room. Jeff, it's truly been a pleasure to work with you. And you know, for those of you who, I know a lot of you know Jeff, but for some of you who don't know him that well, let me just tell you that Jeff is a real go-getter. If you don't want a volunteer who will follow up on every single detail, call every contractor every 5 minutes, and 5 minutes after they were supposed to show up, and meticulously follow up on every task, and generally just be a real pain, then don't call Jeff. Now, the JCC family is lucky to have him. He is the ultimate volunteer and gives so much of his time to the JCC. Jeff, it's been a pleasure to work with you. Once again, thank you for this award. I look forward to many more wonderful projects at the JCC. Have a great evening, everybody, and thank you again.
Good evening, everybody. Mike and Mark, thank you for your kind words. When Pam and I first moved to Scotch Plains way back in 1991, we immediately joined the JCC. Upon moving here, the JCC immediately became an practices, games, and leagues for myself, and numerous meals and snacks for all of us in the cafe. And then camp yachad and birthday parties for our kids. It seemed as though we practically lived here all 7 days a week. From the start, our family has truly taken advantage of just about everything this place has to offer. Quite frankly, we really couldn't think of a better place to spend most of our free time. Over the past 29 years of literally raising our family in this building, I have come to realize that the strength of the agency does not necessarily lie in its physical bricks and mortar of the campus walls, but rather in the friendly smiles, genuine warmth, and positive attitude that the people who work and volunteer here willingly exude every day. Truth be known, it has always given me a great satisfaction to volunteer my time and professional skills to such a wonderful and deserving place. From preschoolers to seniors, on a daily basis, its extraordinary staff and exceptional volunteers continue to touch the lives of so many people in our community in so many ways. Through the years, It has been highly enjoyable to be able to contribute to so many worthwhile projects. And most recently, it has been my pleasure to partner on the Great Room Project with a true professional like Mark Ginsberg and with someone as enjoyable to work with as the Federation's Andrea Bergman. Thank you for this award from the bottom of my heart, as it has always been my pleasure to pitch in and help out. I thank you for this award, and please stay safe and stay healthy to everyone. Thank you.
On March 15th, Lee and I went out for a walk. Now working from home full-time, this was a bright spot. Some mid-afternoon time and exercise with my husband. Our 7-month-old puppy Bailey was also very happy with this new arrangement. As we crossed the driveway of the JCC on Martine Avenue, I lost my breath for a moment as I saw the orange cones that had closed the driveway. And tears filled my eyes. Reality was really staring me in the face. Our JCC was closed, and it's closed on my watch. Certainly not part of the goals that I had laid out for all of you at last year's annual meeting when I was inducted into my presidency. I've had a lot of time to go for walks these past 3.5 months. With my daily commute to the city being a thing of the past, I have 3 extra hours in each of my day. Another bright spot. So I walk and I think, and I try to come to terms with all that's going on in our world today. I've been doing a lot of reading, listening, and watching, and I've had a lot of time to reflect. I've been reflecting on my values and priorities as a mother, a wife, a daughter, a friend, and a lot about my role and responsibility to our community and those around us. Each time I walk past the closed entrance of our JCC, I am reminded of those values and those priorities and goals that I've set for myself. As of course your board president, but more importantly, as a member of this Jewish community. I find myself leaning into the expression, "this too shall pass," followed by a close, "it is what it is." When my mother used to say these expressions to me, it would drive me crazy. But now I hear myself using them with my children daily and saying them over and over in my head as a mantra. This too shall pass, and it is what it is. What we can control in this situation is limited. So I'm choosing to control what I can. I'm choosing to spend my time not focusing on what our JCC has lost over the past 3.5 months, but what we have accomplished and what we have to look forward to. Under Mike Goldstein's leadership, this JCC has been able to do what most were not able to. We have been able to sustain all of our employees. Mike, thank you for guiding our JCC through this. Your commitment to your team and the membership goes far beyond what I can express in words. You have led with empathy and courage. You are tireless in your efforts to assure our sustainability, and I know we will come through this. However, our short-term plan is still uncertain as we continue to assemble this plane while flying it. But I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish thus far. And I'm hopeful as we begin our phase 1 of our reopening with a proposed camp start date of July 13th. I know that it has been planned to provide fun and, more importantly, a safe experience for your children. As we continue our reopening, things will look different. Smaller programs, screenings when you enter the building, limited hours, but it is what it is. And I'm choosing to accept these incremental steps as progress as opposed to limitations, as bright spots. I ask you tonight to lean into that perspective with me. Stand by us as we take these small steps necessary to ensure the safety of our membership and staff and remain positive throughout this time of transition. We will probably all need to do this in all aspects of our lives. Second, Not only are we facing a global pandemic, but we are continuing to live in heightened times of unrest in our country around race relationships. Unfortunately, my "this too shall pass and it is what it is" mantras are not helpful. Here, I continue to lean into the Jewish values that guide every decision we make here at the JCC around inclusion, respect, and kindness. It is our responsibility to unite with others who face oppression as we have so many times throughout our history. In my remarks last year, I shared that I felt compelled to maintain Jewish continuity in a time when others want to make sure that that continuity is replaced by fear. As such, even in this time of upheaval and uncertainty, actually because of this time of upheaval and uncertainty, we are working to rewrite our JCC's vision and mission statements, which were written well over a decade ago. So tonight, I ask that you lean into our values and support us as we restate the mission and vision of our JCC in the coming months, to recognize that it is our responsibility to act on our values each and every day that we exist as a community. Lastly, during my walks, I've been thinking a lot about our JCC motto, "Better Together." We could not have gotten this far without the hard work, dedication, and commitment from our staff and lay leaders. Our staff has continued to plan for our future while providing all that they could during this time. I would like to personally thank the entire staff for remaining positive and focused, for supporting each other during this very difficult time, and for never wavering in your commitment to our JCC. To the Board of Directors, words cannot express how lucky I feel to have this group of lay leaders supporting me. I am so grateful for your time and sacrifices, for your support and your advice, and for your friendship. I feel blessed to have each of you in my life. And to our membership, thank you for your words of encouragement, for the ideas that you have shared, for your patience, and for your support. We have certainly needed it during this time, and we will continue to need your support as we reopen and we rebuild. Please continue to give when possible and maintain your memberships so that we can continue to provide services to our community. That spirit of philanthropy is integral in getting us back to where we need to be. And I thank you in advance for that support. With all of you, our staff, our board, our members, we are most definitely better together. And this, most definitely, is the biggest bright spot. I'd like to end the night by thanking Debbie Judd and Stacy Friedman for chairing this event, and to Karen Goldberg, Jill Callahan, Mindy Goldberger, Sherry Feinberg, Steve McGarr, and Randy Zucker for all of your support. This event had to be completely reimagined, and I thank you for all of your time and for your help. And to everyone on this call tonight, I thank you for joining us, for sticking with us, and I look forward to seeing all of you in person very soon. Thank you again, and this meeting is adjourned.